Is Jaleel McLaughlin a dark horse candidate to win the Denver Broncos RB1 job? I seem to think so, and several other people seem to think so as well. McLaughlin is probably the guy that's being underlooked the most, I feel like, because you've got Javonte Williams, Samaje Perine, Audric Estime, who was drafted in the 5th round, and then a really intriguing rookie in Blake Watson. All of those guys have been talked about quite a bit as far as guys who could step up and be the starting back for the Broncos, but I don't think really anybody's giving Jaleel a chance to be able to emerge and be that number one guy. And right now, if you ask me, the guy who's very clearly working his ass off and trying to get better each and every single day is one Jaleel McLaughlin. I want to bring in this article right here from Mike Kliss, and it says that very thing. Broncos running back rotation could include more Jaleel McLaughlin. And McLaughlin's somebody who is in the building every single day before 6 o'clock in the morning. He's usually having breakfast by the time everybody else arrives, and he gets about an hour and a half worth of work in before really anybody else arrives to the facility. It's just him and like the security and support staff. So Jaleel McLaughlin is somebody who's very clearly committed to his craft. And Philip Lindsay, who was another smaller back who had a lot of success here in Denver, especially in 2018 and 2019, seems to think it's very possible that Jaleel McLaughlin could be the starter come week 1. It's very possible, and here's 2 reasons why. One, Sean kind of latched on to Jaleel last year, right? He picked Jaleel as his undrafted rookie he liked. That says a lot. And 2, Jaleel is showing up every day before everybody. He's showing his work ethic, just like I said. He's showing that he wants to get better. And that goes a long way for a coach like Sean Payton. Sean Payton called out Jaleel in a very positive way in one of his most recent press conferences. I think his continued growth, you see it. Protecting the football, very disciplined as a change of pace type route runner. I know he wants to continue to work on his role in the passing game. He'll come up and wear me out asking for cut-ups and looking at certain routes. But he's here at 5:15 in the morning, even in the off-season. First one here running the weight room. By the time he's at breakfast, most people are arriving to the building. He's putting a good hour and a half's worth of work. It's just the way he's wired, and it's impressive. Right now, man, Jaleel McLaughlin, with that level of work ethic, could very well find himself in a position where he sees more and more snaps. And helping that out, of course, is the fact that Audric Estime has not been on the field for the last couple of weeks, and he will not be on the field until training camp as he rehabs from a minor knee scope. This opens the door for Jaleel McLaughlin to see more snaps, and knowing him, the type of worker that he is, the kind of work ethic that he has, he's going to take advantage of it. And I still think that Samaje Perine makes this roster because he fills a specific niche role. He's the third down back. He's the guy who can hold up both in pass protection as well as a receiver out of the backfield. And I think that Perine brings too much value to the table just to flat out move on from him. But with Javonte Williams, we still have a lot of question marks. We don't know if Javonte is going to bounce back and look like the same player in 2021 after he suffered that really serious knee injury. Last year, Javonte only got worse and worse as the season got on. He ended up finishing the year just averaging 3.3 yards per carry, and in the final 4 games, he only averaged about 2.5 yards per carry, a little over 2.5 yards per carry. That's not good. You need your starting running back to be averaging at least 4.5 yards per carry in order to be a competent level starter. If you're not even reaching that 4 mark, then you can't be depended on to be the starting running back for the Denver Broncos. You just can't. I'm hoping that Javonte can bounce back, but even pre-injury, there were some questions about Javonte Williams with his vision, not seeing developing rushing lanes. Sometimes he'll run into a brick wall, essentially, and bypass to his left a running lane that he could cut inside and turn it into a much more explosive gain. So, I don't know, man. Javonte Williams, I think that he certainly is the leader in the wheelhouse right now to be the RB1, but I don't think that's a given. And just the way that Jaleel McLaughlin has been approaching his offseason, watch out for him because he could be coming. bringing in Jaleel McLaughlin's stats from last year. He got 76 carries, 410 yards. That was an average of 5.4 yards per carry. That's really good. And on his opportunities that he had in the passing game, he averaged 5.2 yards per touch and had 2 touchdown receptions. So Jaleel McLaughlin, if he can somehow find a way to get better in pass protection, which is a little bit hard of an ask for a guy who's only 5'7", 187 pounds, but if he could do that, he could very well end up supplanting Samaje Perine. I just think that Perine has that advantage because he's taller and he's 50 pounds heavier than Jaleel McLaughlin is, and that's just going to make you a lot more of a formidable back in terms of pass protection, and that's a key role that you're going to have to fill if you want to be a third down back in the NFL. So, McLaughlin, do not count him out just yet. He's working every single day to grow and get better as a player, and I really think that he's got a legitimate shot to take the first carry for the Denver Broncos come week 1. All right, Broncos country, I am curious. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you feel like is a realistic chance for Jaleel McLaughlin to end up being the starting back this year? I actually think that right now it sits at about a 5. I think that Jaleel McLaughlin could really swing the pendulum one way or another. It all depends on how he performs in camp and in the preseason. All right, Broncos country, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are 2 free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out and helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.